Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Fog. It's Tuesday, April 5th, and that means the 5.7 Midchapter PTB has gone live. I'm going to be playing it myself off stream, and hopefully, I can get some videos up for you, especially because I'm really excited. I'm going to talk about it here in the notes, but we're getting Haddonfield back completely reworked, and I'm sure it's probably still going to be a little busted and survivor sided. I don't expect anything different because any maps that have indoor aspects to it tend to lean survivor sided. But I'm very excited to see what they've done with the map and how it has changed, and maybe it is a little bit more balanced than it has been in the past. But let's go ahead and get into these notes. So first of all, if you are going to play the PTB on Steam, it is going to grab a save file of your game from last Tuesday, March 29th. So anything that you had saved at that time is going to be there. They added a UI update, an indicator to the searching for friends pop-up when loading data. I don't know what that is. Is that when you're like looking to add a friend, maybe? That could be. Not sure. And then content, the visual update for the Haddonfield map has been included. They have also updated the difficulty indicators for all of the characters. So when you hover over a character, survivor or killer previously, or well, currently, it will tell you if they are easy, medium, I think, and hard. Easy, moderate, and hard, I think, is actually what they used. I'm not positive, but it was for survivor and killer. And it was also a little bit questionable, to be fair, of how accurate that was, because one of the jokes I always make is that Hillbilly is labeled as easy on the current system. He's definitely not. He's one of the harder killers mechanically to master. So they removed difficult ratings from survivors entirely because survivors essentially are just skin. When you learn how to play survivor, you know how to play survivor. Then they made 4 different difficulty settings for killers. So we now have easy. These killers are easiest for a first-time player. That's probably, I haven't hopped into the PTB yet, still downloading for me. Probably somebody like Freddy. Moderate requires the player to be comfortable with the basics of the role, though the killers share common mechanics with those from easy category. So this could be somebody maybe like, I don't know if Clown would be easy or moderate, because I think Clown in general is pretty easy, but actually getting like used to how to use his bottles the most effectively and also being able to aim them could lean toward moderate. Not sure. I think Wraith would definitely be easy. Wraith is like, if you're new to the game, Wraith is like the killer to go for, to be honest. I'm not sure who would fall under moderate. Hard, use mechanics that are specific to the killer and require more practice to be effective. I think that would be something like Hillbilly, potentially Blight. Blight might actually be very hard. Spirit would be hard, I would say. Not necessarily very hard, but hard. Very hard, requires a high amount of practice and understanding. Inexperienced players would likely find little success when using them. I would say definitely Nurse, possibly Blight would be here. The artist could probably fall under hard, but again, I haven't actually looked at the game. It's still downloading for me, so we'll see how everybody's labeled. I'm kind of interested in like judging how I feel having played all of the killers at least a little bit, and being somebody who's a survivor main, so more of a casual killer player. I'm very interested. The Hemorrhage rework. So current Hemorrhage, that status effect just makes somebody leave pools of blood more frequently, which is decent for tracking, but overall it's not really an impactful status effect. So the new effect, survivors affected by the Hemorrhage status effect have their healing progression regress at a steady rate when not being healed. Healing regresses at a rate of 7% per second. This means a 99% full heal would take 14 seconds to completely empty. Sloppy Butcher and the Nightmares Z-Block add-on have been modified to take the new effect into account. Interesting. So there's more details below. All right. So they got rid of the leaving more pools of blood, so it's no longer as beneficial for tracking. But I know one tactic a lot of people will usually do is with resilience, they'll 99% their heal, and that's something you can't do anymore. You either have to choose to stay fully injured or go ahead and heal yourself up. So that's gonna kind of get to a few of the more strategic resilience players. I think this could be beneficial. I think this is going to make hit and run a little bit more viable, but you really got to stay on top of like pressuring people to keep them from healing, like interrupting their heals, using perks like Nurse's Calling, or just keeping tabs on if they've placed a boom somewhere, where that is, or where they're likely to be. I would say if you want to get value out of the hemorrhage status effect, if you're using a perk like Sloppy Butcher or any sort of add-ons, you're definitely going to want to like stay on top of that. Boil Over got nerfed again? What? Boil Over's wiggle impact was causing some players to have significant issues navigating certain maps beyond the intended impact of the perk. Interesting. We are planning to look at wiggle impact more generally in a future patch, but for now we're toning down the impact from Boil Over to prevent particularly egregious cases. So at maximum you used to do 100% wiggle, so it was like a anti-iron grasp basically, which almost nobody runs. And they dropped it down to 80%. Before Boil Over was buffed a couple of patches ago, it used to only go up to 75%, so like the 80% still a little better, but I don't know. I don't know, man. I think it wasn't too bad, honestly. I think it was more significant for controller players though, and I do play killer on mouse and keyboard, so I do kind of get that aspect of it. But I think this is a pretty substantial nerf to a perk that, unless you're dedicating like an entire build around it, honestly is kind of a meme, even with its buffs. So I don't know. Circle of Healing got the nerf. We knew this was coming. They talked about it. So now the speed bonus is down to a maximum of 50% instead of 75%. And as was foretold, so it has been delivered. Sloppy Butcher, modified to account for the hemorrhage rework, increases the rate at which healing progression is lost by 15, 20, or 25%. So normal hemorrhage. So if you have like an add-on, like say one of the Huntress's, Huntress has an add-on that when she hits you with a hatchet, it causes hemorrhage. That would just be a normal 7%. But if you go with Sloppy Butcher on like a basic attack killer, the healing progression is lost up to 25%. That's gonna be amazing. Oh my god. Added, or they did the Z block add-on, so survivors interacting with a dream trap suffer from hemorrhage status effect for 90 seconds. So they buffed this one, and it no longer causes them to bleed when healthy. That's good. Alright, so Legion got some buffs. I'm so excited to go against some Legions in the PTB. I don't know if I'm gonna sit through queue to play Legion. Legion's fun, but I don't know if Legion's that fun, you know? They have a unique terror radius and chase music, which can be modified by the mixtape and add-on. So each Legion character now has a different terror radius. I love that. At least that's what I'm understanding. I may have that wrong. And then you can modify with the mixtape add-ons, which is really cool because I think if you get used to which add-ons do what music or terror radius or chase music or whatever, you can kind of figure out like what they're playing. So you'll know if they have like Franks or not, because that would be really fun with the deep wound thing. Or well, they'll probably actually change Frank's mixtape with how they're reworking Feral Frenzy. So Feral Frenzy now, every time the Legion gets a successful hit, they get a 0.2 meters per second speed boost. After 4 successful hits with the Feral Frenzy, the next one will put a survivor into the dying state. So you run around, you get your 4 hits as normal, and you go find a 5th person, and you're running super fast with your knife, and you down them. I think that's really fun. It kind of is a little Close to Legion on release, but I think they did a decent job balancing this compared to back then, so I'm fine with this. I think it's very interesting, and I'm excited to go against it. When the frenzy ends, the power gauge now starts charging immediately instead of waiting for the fatigue. Also, the fatigue is now cut down to 3 seconds instead of 4. Um, they have changed, so they got some add-on reworks. So one that increases the duration of Feral Frenzy by 2 seconds, so that was buffed. Decreases the recharge time by 5 seconds instead of 2, that's buffed. Susie's mixtape, they buffed the range to 20 meters. Filthy Blade, this is one of my favorites, increases the time to mend by an additional 4 seconds. Oh, that's big. The Eerie button, they removed the effect where the Terries extends to the entire map. Oh, I loved that. That used to be such a really fun mind game. I loved that. Um, Reworked the add-on Friendship Bracelet, so increases the duration of lunges during Feral Frenzy by 0.3 seconds. So mega lunge. Maybe. I think that's what if I'm reading that right. That's totally new. Again, Smiley Face Pin also is totally new. Survivors who self-mend a deep wound from Feral Frenzy are inflicted with blindness for 60 seconds. That's kind of interesting. Smiley Face Pin's the one that used to make them broken from chain hits, though. I really liked that one. That was one of my favorite add-ons. Um, Defaced Smiley Pin. Survivors who self-mend are inflicted with mangled, so then that makes them slower to heal, but that's not actually a big deal. Nobody heals against Legion anyway. Etched Ruler. When they heal from deep wound, they're inflicted with Oblivious for 60 seconds. Nobody cares about that. That's actually gonna hurt you as a Legion, right? Because I think survivors who are oblivious, you don't get Killer Instinct when you're in Frenzy because they don't have your terror radius, if I'm remembering that correctly. Jolie's mixtape, breaking walls 30% faster. The power gauge pauses while breaking a wall. Interesting. Mural sketch increases speed boost per hit to 0.3 meters per second. That's going to be a good add-on. That's going to be a very good add-on, I think. Never sleep pills. Okay, so this is the meme add-on because it's the gain extra bonus points. The Legion's base movement speed during Feral Frenzy is 4.6 meters per second. So it lowers their Feral Frenzy speed to like normal instead of having it be a little bit faster. But it increases it by 10 seconds, and then you get bonus buff points every time you hit somebody. Joey's mixtape. Survivors who self-mend are inflicted with Hemorrhage until fully healed. Again, that's going to be useless. Nobody heals against Legion. And Stolen Sketchbook sets the power gauge reduction on basic attack hits to 2.5 seconds. Power gauge reduction on basic attack hits. I'm not understanding that. I'm going to be fully... Maybe a Legion pin's the one I was thinking about earlier when I said Smiley Face Pin. So when they heal from deep wound, they're inflicted with broken for 60 seconds. That's going to be an okay one. These ones where like it causes them to like heal slower or stay healed is questionable. Honestly, this is probably the best one in the world of where Circle of Healing still exists. This is probably the best one to go with, the Legion pin, but because then they just can't heal, period, whether or not it's slower. But yeah, I don't know. Oh, they totally reworked Frank's mixtape. Okay. Damaging generators is 20% faster. The power gauge pauses while damaging a generator. That's okay. This used to be where hitting somebody who was already in deep wound, it would cause their thing to go down further. Fuming mixtape. While using Feral Frenzy, the repair progress of generators can be determined by the intensity of their auras. Generators not being worked on regress. That's a new addition. Regression effect does stack with Hex Ruin or other regression effects. That's gonna be a fun combination. Okay, so this is the Eerie add-on, I believe, the Fuming mixtape. So yeah, the previously the generators didn't regress, so that's really cool. A couple of new add-ons. So we have stylish sunglasses. Shows the auras of survivors who are mending within a 24-meter radius. That's decent. I like that. Earn tokens for hitting survivors during Feral Frenzy. So 1, 2, 3, 4 tokens um, for your chain hits. So you get the one, and then once you start getting your chain hits, then you get tokens. Once the gates are powered, if 30 or more tokens have been collected, gain a 4% movement speed boost when not using Feral Frenzy. Stop it. Removed Nasty Blade and Cold Dirt. No, this is gonna be so funny. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm already thinking first mind game, 4% is very close to like 5%. Um, you can totally trick people into thinking you have no ed and making them panic. That's the first thing that came to my mind. But also stacking that with no ed and being 9% faster. Could you imagine? I actually think that would be kind of fucking amazing. Like literally, if you're a no ed Legion gamer, run BFFs with no ed. I'm as a survivor main, I'm telling you right now, that's gonna that's gonna be very fun. Okay. This update for Legion leans into their signature running really fast with a knife. Stacking movement speed from Feral Strike gives a better reward from each hit, and they now have a way to down survivors at the end of a great chain. That's good. It's rewarding people who are taking advantage of survivors being grouped up, which is something you should never do against really any killer, but Legion's one of those ones that's like, especially against Legion, don't group up. Add-ons have also seen a major overhaul. Perfect. Ghostface is also getting a buff. So, um, if you are marked by Ghostface, you can no longer reveal him. So, teammates, if you see somebody has been marked, if you're nearby them, reveal Ghostface for your team, okay? The marked now lasts for 60 seconds instead of 45. So that is a long time. That's really good though. Well, is it really good? I don't know. I think it's good for newer players. I think a lot of more advanced players tend to 99 survivors and then pop the marked as soon as they're like right on top of the survivor. So like I don't know if this will make a huge difference for like some of the more experienced ghost face mains out there. It might make a decent difference. Like, I think it's worthwhile. I think this is either something that's going to help newer ghost faces, or potentially have no impact to also being able to help more experienced ghost faces, if that makes sense. They also have new terror radius and chase music. Yay! I love that they're updating all this for the characters. They reviewed the technical implementation of the stock and reveal mechanics. Good, because it's totally fucking busted. Fixed an issue that could lead some players revealed to be ignored completely when multiple survivors are revealing at the same time. Maybe that's something that always happened that people didn't notice. Reveal progress will now regress over a short time when a survivor loses sight of Ghostface and resume when revealing starts again. Previously, losing sight of Ghostface for a single frame would cause all reveal progress to be lost. Ooh, so it's going to be a lot easier to reveal Ghostface. Added in differentiation of the sighting zone, the zone in your screen where the target must be revealed or stalked, for killers and survivors to better account for the difference between first and third person cameras. Nice. So, if you don't know, okay, if you were to draw an X along your screen, right? The top like triangle of the X up here, like the top center, that's usually around where you needed Ghostface to be on your screen as a survivor to reveal them. And it had to be like centered in a weird way. So this sounds like they've kind of adjusted and make it a little bit easier. Made it possible to reveal Ghostface slash stalk survivors when they're not in the center of the screen, but still take up a large amount of the screen. I'm sorry. If you're not aware, if you're new here, so Ghostface could stand right in front of you and stalk you, and you would be staring him down, a full-on staring contest, like through a window. And he would stalk you before you could reveal him, even though stalking like takes longer because the reveal was busted. So this is hilarious. I'm glad they fixed it. Um, oh, and they also fixed it for non 16 by 9 resolutions. Great. So let's talk about the add-ons. Now, disclaimer, I don't really play Ghostface a lot, so I'm not as familiar with all of his add-ons. There's a couple that I know, pretty much like the recovery add-ons, is it? Um, okay, so cheap cologne increases the mark duration by 10 seconds. That got buffed. Headline cutouts, the movement speed while stalking is 40% faster. It used to be 10. That's insane. Ooh, that's gonna be wild. I wonder if that's gonna make it to live. That's so fast. Um, Walleye's matchbook. So night trout recovery time is increased to 6 or decreases it to 6 seconds. It used to be 2. Marked map increases the duration of killer instinct after being revealed by 2 seconds. Leather knife sheath. This is for the crouch face memes. Crouch face is gonna go faster. Increase movement speed by 10%. I love that. Outdoor security camera. I think this is one of his eerie add-ons, I believe. Or maybe I'm thinking, no, Ghostface caught on tape. Are they both eerie? I have the picture of this one in my head. I think it's eerie. Yes, it is. Yeah, the auras of all survivors are revealed for 7 seconds when a marked survivor is put into a dying state. Used to be 4. That's a really good buff. Because the thing is, when you hit a survivor, you have a 3-second cooldown, and like you can kind of move around a little bit, but like by the time you were done with the cooldown, you could look around, you had 1 second to figure out where everyone was. So this is a good buff. This basically gives you the 4 seconds to actually see where everyone is because your 3 seconds of the 7 are in cooldown. Now applies to all survivors. It used to be limited only in the terror radius. That's good too. I think, yeah, if this is the eerie one that I think it is, it should do that. It's an eerie add-on. Reworked the add-on Philly. This, I don't know what that did before. Decreases the required the time to mark a survivor by 20%. Wow, that's significant. Night Shroud remains active after a failed basic attack. My fat fingers are gonna use this add-on in every fucking match. I can't tell you the amount of times that like I just naturally will hit M1, just no survivors even nearby me. My finger just like gets itchy, right? Or something like it bounces. It's just there. And I hit myself out of the basic every time. I love this. This was needed. I wanted this to be a base kit thing, to be honest. Like if you were outside of chase and you failed a basic attack, I wanted that to happen. I think if you're inside chase and you fail a basic attack, then you should be knocked out. But I'm glad this add-on exists for people like me who have dumb hands. Olsen's address book. Survivors that are marked revealed their auras for 5 seconds when performing rushed actions. That's really good. That's an amazing add-on. Oh my gosh. When I tell you I like to call myself an object gamer, I'm really gonna be an object gamer now. Oh my god. Okay. Olsen's Journal. A survivor that is marked is inflicted with oblivious until the mark expires. That's okay. Oblivious isn't really gonna do anything. Like you're obviously gonna know he's chasing you. And unlike with Undetectable, so if he's in Nitro on Undetectable, he doesn't have a red stain. If you're oblivious, there's still a red stain. So like the killer still has to do some mind gaming stuff, and like you can hear the sound of his footsteps in his robes, and this isn't gonna do much. I'm just gonna go ahead and say right now, if you're Ghostface, don't even bother. Don't bother with this one. Telephoto lens. Survivor that reveals the Ghostface is inflicted with oblivious for 60 seconds. Again, they know where Ghostface is. Maybe you could do some mind game or you leave or whatever, but They know where you are because they've revealed you. It's dumb. Chewed pen. I think this used to be a recovery add-on. Survivors that are in the dying state take 3 seconds to reveal the ghost face. Ooh, so it takes them longer if they're in the dying state. Yeah, that happens a lot. So if you're like being slugged or carried. Okay. Reworked the add-on knife belt clip. Reduces the tear radius by 8 meters when crouching. Oh, that's right. It's not like pig. I'm dumb. I was thinking, I was like, you don't have a tear radius when you crouch. No, he does. He has to have night shroud up to not have a tear radius. Never mind. That's actually pretty cool. I like this. That's like a fun little meme. Lasting perfume. Survivors that are on a hook take 3 seconds to reveal ghost face. That's good too. Reworked add-on Olsen's wallet. Breaking a powder wall immediately recharges night shroud. Love that. Imagine playing on the game. Drop leg knife sheath. Ghostface gains 10% movement speed for 5 seconds after marking a survivor. That's actually going to be pretty sick. Assuming, I would say again for like a newer Ghostface. Actually not even bad for a more experienced one because like I said, they usually will 99%. So if you 99 from around a wall, even if that survivor takes off, you have a better chance of catching them. Night vision monocular, that's right, I can talk. A survivor that reveals the ghost face is inflicted with exhausted for 5 seconds. That's decent. That'll stop some sprint bursts and dead hards. Victims detailed routine. After being marked, survivors are inflicted with exhausted for 5 seconds. That's again, somebody can't just sprint burst away when they're marked. There goes I was gonna play in the PTB, I was gonna run a sprint burst build to counter the new Ghostface buff, but if they run this add-on, I'm fucked, so. Okay. And then Ghostface caught on tapes. This is another eerie, so instantly recharges Night Shroud after a successful basic attack puts the survivor into the dying state. Ooh, that's good. Is it eerie worthy? I don't know, but that's good. Dev note, Ghostface was having a tough time generally, and his add-ons were particularly uninteresting overall. Agreed. This change boosts the effectiveness of the marked effect and also overhauls his add-on loadout for more interesting and powerful combinations. The reveal and stalking mechanics have also been tuned to be more predictable and intuitive. This is great. I'm really glad for that. Archives. Changed instances of Roman numerals in the tome names to Arabic numerals in all related contexts. Really? Interesting. I liked the Roman numerals, but I mean, that'd be like you just be like, yeah, tome 3. Like, I get not everybody knows Roman numerals, so the Arabic numerals are going to be a little bit more universal and well understood. Reworked the description text of glyph challenges and dual role challenges to make them consistent and clearer. Okay, that's good. That's probably because people were confused about the white glyph and they didn't realize that you could run carrying it. You just couldn't like fast vault. Engine update and downloadable size. So they're working on making it so that when you have updates, it's quicker. That's all that is. They've talked about that. And then a whole bunch of bug fixes. And I'm just gonna save the time and say if you want to know what bugs were fixed, go ahead and read through this. A lot of it seems, glancing at it, is like visual. But they fixed a load of bugs, and of course, because the PTB, the shape can continue to stock after reaching the tier 3. That's so funny. Because of activating the does not activate the wiggle skill checks. Okay, that's good to know. I'll have to turn wiggle beta off when I go in the PTB. There's a couple known issues. These are obviously down the survivor next to the fence prevents the killer from picking up the survivor. Healing regression regresses when missing a skill check while healing a survivor affected with hemorrhage. Oh, that sucks. Health bar outro animation is missing upon deploying a med kit while healing yourself when under the hemorrhage effect. Interesting. Huh. Okay. Fun bugs in the PTB it looks like, but yeah, if you want to see everything that they fixed, that's going to be fixed with the mid chapter, and very likely usually when they have a known issue in the PTB, it's usually fixed by the time it goes live too. So these you hopefully should not see by the time this goes live because they already know about it, which means they're already working on it. Um, Especially this is like week old known issues. I'm sure they're on top of it. Anyway, I can't wait to go play in the PTB. If you have Steam, I have a YouTube short on here that I can link if you want to go check out how to access the PTB on Steam. It is only available for Steam players, unfortunately. I apologize to anybody else who's playing on any other platform or console. But check out some of your favorite content creators this week. They're all very likely going to be playing around in the PTB some, so you can see a lot of this and how it's going to be going. And typically, if you want to know when this is going to actually hit live servers, it's usually 3 weeks after the PTB launch. So very, very likely, I'm guessing April 26th is potentially when this will be live. Don't know for sure. Don't quote me. But look around for that date to see all these updates coming live to you. Anyway, thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you guys have a wonderful time in the fog. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, whatever, leave them down below, and I will see you later. Bye!